So Boruto 2 Vortex Chapter 31 has semi-confirmed Mamushi's second ability, right? Aside from him just multiplying, cloning, we obviously know he can do fire style jutsu and the endless possibilities of anything related to wood style or something that we know the original Ten Tails is capable of doing within his arsenal. All of that aside, right? We have confirmation from both, you know what I'm saying, of the GOATs, Eida and Daemon, who are respectively in my top 5 favorite characters. Eida number 3, Daemon number 4, you feel me, respectively. Confirming and placing the confirmations within this chapter of Mamushi's second ability that we've already essentially seen even before his entire thing of oh, I can multiply without even dwindling my power in any way, shape, form. Yet we have confirmation, and it dates all the way back to, I'm sure as most of y'all are probably thinking right now, to the time when Eida was trying to spy on a Shinju meeting when they were in that hideout, and Mamushi just chilling, pops right back up, walks straight up in front of Eida and looks her dead in her eye. And Eida goes into a little bit more detail this chapter, and we got a little bit more insight this chapter from Mamushi himself, and to get a grasp or idea of how this ability works. But also it ties into the fact that not only this guy Daemon is about to officially make his move, but right, what Mamushi's entire purpose of swarming the village and not just senselessly searching for Eida or asking villagers who obviously don't know where Eida is at, but he actually has a point into doing all of this. There's a method to the madness, right? So let's get right into it. Yes, sir, ski. So currently within chapter 31, it has been confirmed to be well over 200 Mamushi clones swarming the village. The last time we had a count, it was over 100, and now he's nearly doubled that, over 200 clones, and they apparently are rioting with each other because the frustrations are building and the tensions are getting higher because they can't find Eida, and the clones are actually begun to fight amongst themselves, as we see both Sarada and Delta witness firsthand. Right now, Shikamaru basically comes to the conclusion of his last-ditch effort. We're going to basically use Eida as bait. Now, this has been theorized a lot of times where someone can even possibly use a transformation jutsu, go to the middle of the village, go to somewhere that's secluded within the village vicinity, and draw all the Mamushi clones there and figure out a way to take them out in one fell swoop. But we understand Shikamaru is now undergoing with this plan. However, instead of locating Eida somewhere else, they're going to try to actually draw all of the clones within the village right now, currently towards wherever Eida and Daemon is at. And Daemon, as we see by the end of the chapter, he's extremely ecstatic. He's excited for this possibility to come to fruition. And he already told Shikamaru, this is what you should have done from the start. Like, I don't know why y'all are doing all this in and out BS when I'm here and I'm there and I'm everywhere at the same time when it comes to handing out ass whoopings and getting Happy Meals on my off days, you feel me? So Daemon is ready to start boxing. Yet it's very interesting that we get a couple of dialogues from both between Eida and Daemon, and like I said earlier, this guy Mamushi himself. So just sticking with Eida and Daemon basically comes to a realization like, Eida, you haven't been using your Sharingan, what's going on? Because Eida is there pouting and trying to basically guess what is happening, because as we understand what happened last chapter, Inogen released the mind transformation jutsu where everybody was able to understand and see all the things going on through his connection in order to do the whole mishap that he's going through with Kashin Koji and Lord Kobu. Now, once Inogen reconnects everybody, he automatically tells them, yo, Lord Kobu's in danger, all this stuff is going down in the roof. But prior to that moment, Eida is there just contemplating and being inside of her head. And you see it's kind of like a byproduct of being blessed with the ability, or you can say cursed with the ability of know everything that's going on at all times. And now she is cursed with the fear of, like, if she even tries to tap in or access this ability that has been second nature to her for the last few years of her life, she might be placing herself in danger when she draws eye contact with this guy Mamushi. Now, she says something very interesting to Daemon, right? Because Daemon's like, why don't you just use your Sharingan if you're so worried about what's going on in the village? She's like, cause he's gonna be able to look me directly in my eyes and figure out where I am at. Now, we understood that basically somehow, some way, Mamushi was able to peer and look at Eida within this Senrigan realm or space, right? But it's getting a little bit more clear and concise in terms of how Mamushi is able to do this and what will be the byproduct of this, right? People speculate speculated, could he possibly harm Eida in this space? And it's looking like that's not necessarily the case. However, he can pinpoint her exact location by making eye contact with her when they are within this space. Because Eida's fear is basically he will be able to make out the vicinity and find out where I'm at. So I'm not going to use that ability. Daemon's a little frustrated because he's like, what's the whole point of doing all of these runarounds when I can just take care of the enemy this easily, you know? But Eida then goes on to say, right, because of this rare phenomenon that occurs with Mamushi, she's not going to be able to use her ability, and she fears the usage of her ability will basically expose this new secret ability of Mamushi. And Daemon chimes in basically saying, so he's not just able to multiply, insinuating that this somehow a way that he has of sensing Eida whenever she's using her Senringan can qualify as another separate ability for this guy Mamushi. Now, that's very interesting because when we go into the riot portion of the chapter, they're rioting. We see the Queen Sarada, we see the love of my life, Delta, out there watching the vicinity. And they're like, bro, what's going on with Buddy? He's tweaking out, he's spazzing. And Sarada's reporting in like this dude is rioting within the village, right? And we understand that he's arguing amongst himself because, like we said, the frustration and the tension is there, and there's no Eida within anywhere or any line of sight. But he says something very interesting that basically leads me to believe that, okay, so his ability is probably something more than what we initially been thought about, whether it's, oh, he's possibly able to harm Eida within this vicinity, or he's able to somehow see her because of his Rinnegan ability with whenever Eida is using her Senringan. But he's basically going around exposing himself, and then he's basically saying, right, it'll all be over. He just needs one try to get her. And it's a little bit vague. We got to wait for the official translations. And with that being said, as of the recording of this video, the official chapter drops tomorrow, chapter 31 of Two Blue Vortex. So stay tuned, especially for some more clarification in this regard. But he's basically saying, right, he wants to just get one opportunity, right? It only takes one look and everything will be over. Now, obviously referring to his eyes and obviously referring to basically one look at Eida. So I'm kind of getting the idea, right? Maybe, now this is just a possibility. What if this guy Mamushi isn't just able to not only see Eida because whenever she's using her Senringan, he's able to peer into that realm, but whoever he is looking at or makes a certain amount of eye contact with, he's able to peer into the things that they have peered into, or possibly see what they have seen in the past and make out that vicinity, and he's able to map his way and find out where he's going. So he's probably frustrated because out of all the people he's come across, and we see one of the Mamushi clones saying basically we've just been exposing ourselves and nobody knows where she's at. Maybe out of all the people he's come across, he's staring or he's using this ability to see what they have seen or see what they know in terms of the location, in terms of the terrain, right? Basically being able to make out the things that they have seen and somehow map his way into that vicinity, because they're basically they're focusing so much on the vicinity, the background. He might be able to pinpoint where Eida is at by using this ability. And Eida surmises the same thing. Like, if he looks me in my eye again, he might be able to tell exactly where we are at. And he himself, Mamushi, is stating that it will just take one look. So no need to be frustrated, as he's explaining to his other clones. All we need is one look and all of this will be over. So it's interesting to see. Maybe they confirmed a new ability, but I think it's a little bit more complex than just pinpointing locations or sensing locations. I think it might be a little bit more complex. And since we even have this guy Daemon chiming in, like, okay, so he has more abilities than just being able to multiply, right? It might be something that can possibly affect Daemon, or might be something that will allow Daemon to reveal another ability he's been secretly hiding as a response or a quote-unquote counter to this guy Mamushi's quote-unquote sensing or pinpointing location ability. It's weird, right? And the Mamushi clone himself is weird because it's like everybody's doing damage to these clones, everybody's killing a clone and stuff like that. But then when you think about it, just pure one-on-one, who can really beat Mamushi one-on-one? Like I niggas like Sarada, Boruto, Kawaki, Daemon, yes. But like, take them niggas out the picture, like one-on-one, because we see Team 10's doing good. We see Mamushi getting beaten and clobbered in every panel we've seen, but also he's like, it's kind of like Jogo from JJK. He's cursed with fighting the strongest every single time, right? He hasn't really had no time to shine. But This new ability explanation and possibility kind of leads me to the idea that this Daemon versus Mamushi matchup, despite us seeing Kawaki and Boruto take down 10 Mamushis apiece and Sarada blasting, you know what I'm saying, up to 20 Mamushis in one go with her Mangekyo Sharingan, it might make it a little bit more interesting when we see Daemon come across Mamushi, because at this point, what's stopping us from believing, well, Daemon can just walk outside and kill like 30 Mamushis in one go if he wants to? We see how easy it's been to take out these clones for top tiers like Boruto, Sarada, and Kawaki. So it's not crazy to believe that it's going to be even easier for someone like Daemon. Yet by the end of the chapter, this guy's excited. He's raring to go. And it looks like another ability has been revealed for Mamushi and possibly might be revealed for this guy, Daemon. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Boruto 2 Vortex chapter 31 straight gas. Holla at your boy. I'm going to holla at y'all. Black Chia out. Yes, sir. Ski.